what I understand and what I know,
Right.
we're moving forward.
Al,
Yeah.
why are you convinced that this is it, that there won't be any more coming from this?
Well, I'm not convinced that that's completely it. All I'm saying, based on what I know, that the worst part is behind us, and that we have a chance to move on now.
Al, can you talk about your quarterback situation with Ryan and Stephen Morris? How are you going to deal with that going into the spring? Is Stephen a little bit ahead because he's been in the system?
Yeah.
Can you talk about the quarterback situation?
George, really? The quarterback
Would you rather have some
situation?
NCAA questions?
Well, I'll say this. We anticipate 2 other quarterbacks being here. So by January 17th, we'll be back up to where a Division I program should be. We'll have 4 quarterbacks in the program, and we'll let them compete. Certainly, I think Stephen made a lot of progress this year, and Stephen has benefited from, learning and growing and developing alongside Jacory and learning the system without having the pressure to produce week in and week out. I think there's something to be said for that, and so I think he's gotten better during the year, and again, it's going to be great to see he, Ryan, and 2 young men that we bring in at mid-year compete.
Al, Stephen, in what ways do you feel like Stephen made progress, got better?
In every way, just his understanding of the offense. I think became more of a leader, more confident in terms of verbalizing or being audible with the offense. Made very confident throws. He was a guy who didn't really make a throw for a couple of weeks, and he goes in there against Duke and throws a rocket. So he's stronger. He's going to be a great runner for us. He's legitimately fast. He'll end up being 218 pounds and probably run high 4.5s or low 4.6s. That's a fast quarterback. And I think you understand his arm strength. He got better at throwing fade balls and touch passes. He's got, some work to do there yet. And he knows that, but I think he's benefited greatly. He's benefited just from putting his head down and working all year.
Al, in all your years of recruiting, you said that your contract will stabilize recruiting. And in all your years of sitting in the kid's living room, if you felt he was considering a school where either the coach was on shaky ground or the coach, there were rumors of the coach leaving, is it fair? Have you said to a kid, you shouldn't go there, the coach isn't going to be around for your...
Yeah, I'm not a negative recruiter. If I just went through and if I just sat there and said to you right now, I'm at the University of Miami. We're the #1 university in the state of Florida. We're a top 40 institution. Okay, we got more players in the NFL. We got more players at the Pro Bowl. We have more first-rounders drafted. We've had the most national championships. We've played in the most national championship games. We have an incredible, diverse campus. You have everything that you could possibly get in a college setting here in Coral Gables. You got Sunset Place here. You got Coconut Grove. You got Miracle Mile. And on top of that, we have one of the most diverse cities in the country. I don't have to talk about anybody else's situation. What we need to do is get back for everybody asking me questions Friday night, I almost feel like there's an inferior complex. I'll say, hey, are you going here? I just signed a contract. And people want to know, is it over at this school or that school? And we got a great product to sell, and as soon as you guys let me out of here, I'll go sell it. So, again, I'm having fun with you, but let's dig in. Let's dig in. I will share this with you. I told my wife a year ago before I came, and I sat there one of those nights where you're just sitting there and I'm going through as I'm trying to make a decision and figure things out, and I looked down, and you guys might be able to tell me whether I'm right or wrong, but I looked down, and there wasn't one coach over that 30-year span that was here more than 5 years. Is that correct? Maybe 6?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
And I said to her, I want to be the first coach to be here long term. I want to go to Miami and make it a destination. And so I'm grateful to Sean and the president for giving us this opportunity, and now we want to go fix it. And whatever comes up, we'll carve it up and move forward.
When do you expect finally to hear from the NCAA and get this check?
I'm out of that loop. I'm trying to answer questions on that, but I'm out of that loop. That's really an executive deal. That's an administrative deal. That's the president and the AD. But again, from what we understand right now, this puts an end to this chapter. We move that forward, and again, whatever we see moving forward, we know there's stability We'll face it. Again, it's not going to be anything compared to what I faced at Temple, because we started a program with 54 scholarships my first year. In the second year, we had 63. And then, again, as I said, that class that we ended up recruiting in that second or third year ended up being the winningest team in the history of that school. So we expect to do that here.
Coach, you talk about the symmetry and the depth of positions. You've mentioned, quarterback, cornerback, and some other positions. Can you just take us through, how important this recruiting class is to fill some of those needs and some other areas that you
Critical.
see?
Certainly quarterback we talked about, but cornerback in the secondary in general. We need guys in there. Again, when I got here last year, we basically had Brandon McGee at corner, right? I didn't expect to walk in the door and have only one corner on the team, So we had a lot to deal with. And so, again, I know exactly where we're at and what we have to do. And we have a plan to handle it. But if you just look at what we did, right, we moved Lee over to cornerback. We went out and got Mike Williams from Wake Forest. We moved JoJo out there. And then on August 15th, we had to move him back to safety. So we had a lot to overcome. And I think 6 interceptions, really that's not championship football. And so, we have a great opportunity for corners. We have an unbelievable opportunity for linebackers. We don't have the depth at all at linebacker that we have. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been moving Marcus Robinson back and forth all year or played, the freshman that we played. So, there's great opportunities at those two positions, certainly, and then a wideout. We don't even have enough to line up in the spring right now at wideout. So we need some guys that want to come in and contribute.
And I guess it all kind of trickles down to special teams, too.
There's no question. I don't think there's any question that it does that. And if you don't have your best players on special teams, you run the risk of having some of the plays happen to us that happened this year. And again, I would prefer to rest your best players. I would prefer to rest them on defense or offense than I would on special teams. I'd rather play, a young man, 10 plays or 12 plays on defense and have Sean Spence covering a kick than I would rather do the opposite, to be honest with you. But we just had no depth. And to top it off, we got some injuries on top of that, so it made it tricky.
Coach, looking back a little bit, we've not gotten a chance to do this up to this point. Ja'Cory, you had amazing confidence in him. And do you feel sort of fulfilled by the fact that, he kind of, with the exception of this last game, kind of showed that confidence was verified?
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it's just about believing in you. I would be no different than the guys, the first time he threw 2 interceptions saying, see, I told you so. That would be no different if I took that up. For me, it's about, believing in a young man and can he perform? And I see him every day. So, obviously, I get paid to make those decisions, and along with Jed and whoever the position coach is. In this case, he's the position coach. Make a decision that's best for our program. And I think Ja'Cory gave us the best opportunity to win this year. And it was unfortunate that he finished the season the way he did. But overall, I thought he played really well this year for us.
But you get what I'm saying. Like, it could have been seen as, this is what you guys, so you're trying to make the best of it. Or you legitimately saying, no, he has the goods. Stick around, wait, forget about what he did in the past. This kid's going to perform,
Yeah, I think I did that, Is that what you're asking?
Yeah,
I think I did that. Clearly at the end of the day, you either win or you lose. And I think, we thought he, had the goods to perform and lead us to victory.
Al, going back to you for a minute, after a 6-win season, did you expect a contract extension?
Did I expect a contract extension? Again, you keep talking about a 6-win season like nothing else occurred. Again, I want to make sure we're on the same page. This is the craziest year, I think, on record. And the adversity that we endured, okay, again, this isn't about me. This is about our coaches. This is about our program moving forward. So I think the university understood the undertaking that we had, what we went through, the lack of continuity, the lack of consistency, the adversity. And I think I'm real proud of the staff and the student athletes for how they plowed through. So 6-6, not good enough for you. Trust me, I'm here 18 hours a day. It ain't good enough for me. We'll get it fixed.
Al, have you been assured yet by any of the underclassmen that are considering the NFL that they'll be back? And I guess when do you anticipate having? those
Again,
conversations?
if there's decisions to be made there, most of it will be done privately. We will take every kid individually, make sure they get the proper paperwork filed, get the information, they make an educated decision. Again, really, my job is to serve, you know, to make sure they get all the appropriate information, accurate information, and make a decision, you know, that's best for them and their family, clearly. I think what they have to do right now is make sure they're getting the accurate information, you know, and that they're not hearing from runners or guys on the street or saying, leave this, that, and the other, because it's really, we're so far away from having an accurate evaluation on a lot of those guys, that it's premature, you know. So when they make a decision, we'll let you guys know. Some of them have already let you know, but you know, really, we're not going to speculate it on or have that be in a public forum until they make a decision that's best for them and their families.
Al, is that